for next season in first and second place. That means we have an org who has to go and fight in trials. That means either Gigantti or Winstrike will have to go and battle their way back through and get themselves a spot in next season's contenders.
Depending on how the Group A goes tomorrow, there could be a few more joining them.
Absolutely, you're not wrong.
Let's have a look at the defense coming out from Team Gigantti first as they jump on to HSL's map choice of Horizon Lunar Colony.
All about the defense. So Gigantti rolling out with pretty, I won't say standard setup, but it's the sort of thing you normally see on Hanamura at first point. We're going to see the Doomfist coming out alongside the Sombra. And Doomfist, well, earlier on we saw Graceful playing it from Young and Beautiful.
This isn't Hanamura.
What?
You usually don't see the Doomfist.
No, that's what I'm saying. You normally see it on Hanamura.
Yeah.
That's why it's a bit different seeing it here. You're trying to meme. I get you. I'm with you. Okay. It's been a long day.
You don't have to belittle me like that.
No, I was like, I get you. Because I didn't realise it. And I was like, hang on. It ticked over slowly as I was speaking. And I was like, I get it. Right. Rolling out with it. We don't normally see it here, you're right, but where you see Invisibility sit now, it's very similar to how it operates when you're playing on Hanamura. You find here as they try and cross across, and you bring out one of the supports. Well, that's the intent, but it didn't work. They weren't
able to blow anyone up, so he will retreat, wait for his cooldowns to come back online, and look for another opportunity to destabilize this typically gelled together unit.
Well, they've got the high ground control here now, so there's a big question for Facility is can he manage to collapse into this backline, and if so, where from? Because right now he's lurking very defensively at the very back.
Dan also getting very close to hitting that coalescence. It could be a game changer when the fight actually does take place as he's looking for Lilbo on this Zenyatta. He's going very aggressive to find this Zenyatta who's by himself, remove him from the fight. He's unable to do anything. Zeke coming up there with Progi as well, takes out the backline and Milky Man. This is not looking good for Gigantti.
This is why you bring a Moira sometimes over something like a Zen. It's not only are you a lot safer and able to protect yourself, there's a reason why I'm always referring to this comp as a 6-0 dive. It's because essentially, okay, maybe without the Zarya you'd say it isn't really a dive. But the idea is you're throwing literally
Lucio
every
amp it up, just move over.
Lucio bumps in there, yeah, he gets in the back, he starts pinging away, they can't really hit him. You've got the Moira draining the life out of you, you've got anyone else diving onto them as well, like the Winston and the Diva. If they want someone dead, I guarantee you in 90% of circumstances to this comp, they're going to die. And there is nothing you can do about it.
You're already dead as they teleport across the map. More anime references coming right at you. As Hidan's going to pop that coalescence early, just cut through that bubble. And this EMP is going to come out and try and shut down everything else. Team Gigantti wants to get control of this map, and an EMP is a good way to do that.
It's a pretty good start. And we saw this from Winstrike in their series as well, where it came down to the war of the EMPs. A lot of it came down to the support ultimates as well between the two sides. It was always quite impressive to watch for the most part. Now, Winstrike managed to hold out pretty well here. They held out for pretty much the solid 4 minutes as well. Now, there's 6 minutes on the clock for Gigantti to hold off HSL. Based on how that first point went, Gigantti have really got to rally here and show what it is they're made of. I don't literally mean use rally because it's not available to them just yet, but they've got to hold them off for this amount of time. It's going to be a very tall order to show that you are one of the best in this group.
It is one of my favorite buzzwords, Des. Spawn advantage. It's what's in favor of Team Gigantti on point B, so those mistakes you may make are just covered over a little bit by the fact that you can get reinforcements faster than your opponents.
It's always ideal, but normally this results in you being staggered on this map because the fight ends so quickly since the point itself is so open. And nicely onto Proggy to get woke up. Yes, he did. Unlucky.
That's unfortunate. It does happen sometimes, though. HSL Esports are on the point. They use the grab to keep everyone off of it. Self-destruct there as well to buy some more space, but Facility's going to lose his shield for it. He has to take the brunt of that explosion himself. Milky Man, I believe he just received the nano boost from his colleague, and he's going to burn through people now. That's expired. Transcendence comes out a little bit too late to save multiple members of HSL Esports. Milky Man's still going to commit to this one, looking for more kills. Won't stagger out tech, they just want the clean kills coming in. Already burned a minute of that time bank, and they're looking for more.
Well, they've got the EMP back online once again. Davin with the fireworks, the electronic fireworks, you might say, ready to deploy if things do get a bit shaky and HSL push in too far. Now, they've only managed to run down about a minute and a half, 2 minutes so far, so still quite a bit of a way to go. HSL, every time they tried to push in, I've got to give a bit of a props out to, a bit of a shout out, I should say, to Milky Man. Every single time so far that he's gone low or close to dying, he's always jumped away at the last second and kept himself alive. Last time round it was at about 120 HP, before that it was a little bit more, but the guy's playing pretty safe for a Winston, and that's always a crucial thing because it's very easy to get too aggressive on Winston or dive in and get yourself killed very quickly. We saw it from Proggy, for example, earlier on when it came around to those guys playing on the early amounts. I think it was on Well, we saw diving quite a lot and die. Very different story now.
Well, look up to the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's kind of an amalgamation of both. Facility up in the air on the farmer, peppering some rockets, getting some extra damage down, but it's his team that's doing the work on the ground, winning that war of attrition and denying HSL Esports further. Will this presentation of a Farah from Gigantti force out a change from HSL Esports? Because I kind of feel it needs to.
Quite possibly, but they've already got things that they can use to counter it, right? They've got the projected barriers, they've got the defense matrix, they've got the tools coming out of the Zen that they need as well to get a Discord down and focus him. Really, they'd have to commit quite a lot to be able to bring him down, and it would change a bit too much about this comp, I feel, which is where their concern lies. Facility changed because I think with the Doomfist, you're in a spot where, well, in this comp, you're going to get stunned and battered very, very quickly. Facility being on the far is a lot safer.
Well, they're going to nano boost Facility, getting closer to that barrage, but HSL Esports are having none of it. The second he got in there, he was just barraged with damage himself. He's now got the ult online available to use against HSL Esports, assuming he can find the right opportunity. He's now seeing his Transcendence from his team. There's no safer opportunity for him, but now the Transcendence comes out from HSL Esports to counteract that and keep them alive. They're still burning through the time bank. No one's actually died yet while this fight's going on, but it works in favor of Gigantti to just burn more of his time. Self-destruct sent into the back pocket, like game of snooker, except he didn't pot that ball. Milky Man going to go down, hit down, being the person to take him out. Progy's just taking a nap on the point. Progy's going to do what Progy wants to, but he will go down to Zappis, who punishes him for doing so.
The EMP coming out of Davin was that Hail Mary they were looking for as well, because now they've got Facility charging in and finding a couple of kills on the way out, or enough at least to send HSL packing and say, get the hell off our yacht.
Off your yacht? That's very...
Off my yachts. That's very kind of...
I mean, that's very upper class.
Yeah, I mean, Gigantti, they're an org, man. What can I say? You never know if they can afford a team yacht. I was going to say yard and lawn, and it kind of became yacht. I don't know how, but it did.
Well, I mean, hopefully they can start winning some more matches and renegotiate for a yacht, but I don't think that's the case at the moment. Facility going to take back up to the skies, going to get that barrage online, but it's out of sync with Davin's EMP. Not necessarily the nano boost though, but he's stunned. He was so close to the ground. Sardis is like, what are you doing, man? Hits him with this shield bash, cancelled it early. There's the Graviton Surge. Self-destruct goes up high. They're held together, but they're sitting in a Transcendence, as is the norm when it's online. No one really dropped down by that one as Zeke takes out Zappe afterwards. So man advantage in favor of HSL, but the spawns are going to really deter any further progress. As Zappe loses his mech, he did get a DMX before going down. Now he's playing a Bunny Blaster Spring, and from the side, cheap shot coming out from Progy there as he cleaves him across the head with the hammer. So he's now going to get this Winston off the point, because he's the one contesting it and buying time for Gigantti to respawn as they go into full panic mode. Davin on the Wrecking Ball. You've got Zappis on the Tracer, but they're not there fast enough. HSL Esports going to complete Horizon.
They are with about 1 minute 20.
Sorry, I don't know how Hammond's voice line snuck in there, but it's adorable.
I think he'd just come off the side of the point and knocked up the Ryan, so hey, why not? But yes, 1 minute 22 seconds left in the time bank for HSL, so Gigantti with a relatively solid defense do manage to find HSL competing against them. This does now, of course, play into one. Did Gigantti even manage to complete the map? And two, if they do so, how much time do they have left? Because now, as long as Gigantti stay above a minute, we know that for sure HSL will have 1 minute 22 on their attacking Gigantti. Well, it depends entirely how this first assault goes.
I wonder if they can do it as quickly as HSL did it.
Well, Gigantti have been the heroes of overtime, should we say. These are the guys I always refer back to, completing an entire map with 1 minute of overtime left.
They didn't do that on Assault, though. They did that on an Escort map.
They did, but I don't want to say it's easier here, but both
is it easier to do?
On both map types, it's snowballing, right? And this one is a case of snowballing one fight straight into the next, usually with the ults that you've gained from the first one. On those other maps, you have to stay on the point for one. It's actually hard. I'd say it's easier on Assault than it is on the other maps.
I'd say it is easier because I think of it like this, Des. Effectively, you could win an Assault map in overtime if you win 2 fights back to back under the right circumstances. With an Escort map, you're guaranteed to fight more than twice.
So on the basis of that alone, easy clap. They should be able to do it.
Yeah, why not?
That's assuming they even have 1 minute left.
Why not?
And assuming they can even complete.
It's that algebraic, yeah? X equals Y, so Y equals Gigantti wins, right? Yeah, simple as that, right?
If that's what a math degree can teach you, then we'll have to go and get one.
Well, I didn't study maths, Des.
Neither did I. It's all good. But one guy, well, at least one team I hope has studied maths to some degree is Gigantti, calculating the odds of their victory with this comp they're rolling out with. They're rolling in with what we saw them do before, or actually I think it was HSL who did it last time around. They were rolling out with this very dive-heavy comp, with the Moira in, you're the 6-0 dive, a.k.a. jump in and kill everyone.
This is what Morningstars ran against Windstrike in our previous series.
No, they didn't. They didn't run the Widowmaker. They ran the Hanzo instead, and they didn't have a Mercy.
Well, that just shows how much that composition left an impact.
How much attention you're paying, yeah.
Well, it looks very similar. It's a similar core in premise.
It plays a very similar way. I think I prefer the Hanzo still in this purely because of the spam into things like shields and tanks, whereas the Widow is more to try and pick up those targets as you're running through. So it requires Zeke here for those first 2 shots that he actually fires out as Gigantti tried to make an entry, picking someone off. And that's a very hard task to give to a Widow, I won't lie.
Well, we just buy more time. I'm not sure they actually know where everyone is. I think he's trying to spy check, assuming that the Widow is falling behind, but
Buys up.
He found Zuppe when they realized they were coming through the airlock, so they've got that.
There we go.
And Zeke's going to follow up with Lilbo. So 2 supports down already for Team Gigantti. The wind's going to be taking out their sails. So not the aggressive and decisive first pick we see as Zidane finds another kill. Zeke can't quite land the shots themselves. Going to move around to the side, but Tech36 is there for the cleanup anyway.
Well, Gigantti were a bird, and HSL just completely clipped their wings off there as well. No chance of them getting in flight anytime soon, anywhere towards the point, because all 3 supports were the first casualties in that fight. Nice pinpoint precision from both. I love actually how Hidan, as the non-sniper, you could argue Zen has sniperish tendencies, but there's no projectile there. Sorry, there is projectiles there. It's not just a hit scan. Still managed to find himself 2 kills on the back of all of that, and that one instant spray down to Zuppe. That removes so much healing from the side. It was beautiful.
Nice bubble there to protect the Milky Man as he jumps in with that Winston. They do have the sights now available. Zeke's going to have a good read on where everyone's moving, even through the terrain. How Winner makes ultimate works. Brogy's dropped down there by himself for the time being. He needs healing. He's going to have to cower behind that shield. But the rest of the Giganti's not committing to the point. They'd rather pick off the players on the peripherals of it and cut off all options of support. Silas goes in retired, takes Milky Man out. So that big bulking mass that you expect to be the forefront sitting on that point. Been removed for Team Gigantti. And it's very casual. Brogy's just chilling out behind that shield. What are you going to do? Attack me?
You'd hope so, but there's a lot to go through first.
Well, here's the thing. You dive on Brogy, you have to deal with all those resources up on the high ground, and they're going in for it. Supercharge has been deployed by Brogy. It's that extra oomph that's been given to HSL Esports to fight back their aggressors coming in the form of Team Gigantti. Davin has got the Graviton Surge available, so if he can find the right angle and the right opportunity to group these team players together off this high ground, they're using so correctly, it's going to be difficult for them to deal with. But they're going to throw down the grab, pull them together, self-destruct there, blocked out damage as well. Doing that with the barrier is well timed. Here comes Riptide into the fight. It's too late, not going to find anyone. That was a final rage pop by Milky Man as he jumps off to the high ground, trying to get those off that position. They're struggling so hard to do. But while it's going on, they have been getting capture percentage and getting control of the map. Davin gets that kill onto Brogy. Ashcroft has gone down, no more reses. This is going to be Gigantti taking it. They did do it in a slower fashion than what HSL were able to do themselves.
I really like Dezachu's snap judgment there, because as soon as that barrier was broken for the Orisa, he charged forward, stunned her so she couldn't pull back and hide away. And immediately Davin was on the focus, as was Zappis, and she got melted down incredibly quickly. Now it was, like I say, very quick snap judgment reaction. Brilliant, really admire that. Now they're going to make it work on the second point. Brogy, no follow-up damage on the back of that shield bash from Facility. They've got to try and get an only pick here as well, so they can hold control of this point. They're already up to about a third.
How good is the snowball? You've already used the coalescence from Zuppe to burn through all these shields and get through them and just onto the back line. And Brogy's going very low. He's being kept alive by that orb. And now the Transcendence, not losing that main tank in this instance, was very powerful there. Milky Man goes for the charge, gets the shield block perfectly for the rest of his team. Zeke even picking up a kill on Milky Man. Brogy will go down, and now Davin's off to the side. Got him high energy. He's going to burn through Silence. Graviton Surge pulls them together. There's a self-destruct in the distance, but he'll still deal enough damage to take out Davin. Zidane also finds Facility. Look at the D-Make on Zappis. No snowball momentum play here for Team Gigantti. They're going to have to do it manually.
Just a bit of stagger as well. Zappis being hard sold down. Imagine one right click will be all it takes as well, or a quick laser, that works too. A few bullets out of Tech36 will bring him down. Now we're down to 3 minutes and 44, so about 2.5 minutes until Gigantti find themselves at the same time back as HSL again, assuming they can actually complete the map.
Needs to get in there. Got about 1 minute 10, no, 2 minutes 10 before they match the time bank of HSL Esports. Gigantti on the high ground. Got the option of dropping down whenever they please. No one's going to deter them from there. You might see a cheeky little Tech36 fly up there to try and knock someone off, or potentially Ashcroft if he's feeling brave enough. They're going to move around. They've given up the area for the transition. Brogy sitting on that Earth Shadow, ready to drop whenever he so pleases. Look at the combination. Milky Man gets there, a little bit delayed on the ultimate, but not for Brogy as they hit pull off the combo successfully where Team Gigantti failed in that instance. Silas then taking out Facility and down on the Milky Man. Davin's going to go down here, just wants to build as much ult charge as possible, gets himself the Graviton Surge for next fight. Will be joined by the self-destruct and the Transcendence on his lineup. But HSL Esports looking at similar ult charge across the board.
Milky Man just dashed straight into Hidan's right click there as well, so be very happy with some nice damage traded over.
Maybe don't do that.
Maybe
right?
don't, yeah. Maybe please don't. They'd have been headshots. That could have been a pretty interesting outcome, but alas, they were not. Now, HSL have got a couple of support ultimates online. That Grav Surge is there as well. So it's on the other side, mind you. Gigantti have got a combo if they want to use it out. And there's not really much that can be done to block it. Yes, you can throw out something if you want to, but you've got to eat it.
Double grab trade, but it is going to be Davin on the field. Not HSL Esports. Will commit further ultimates to solve it. Transcendence being used later for Team Gigantti, so they have the healing advantage. They can press forward. Is that window of opportunity? There's the sound barrier. Sees the layer going. Lilbo answers with his own to trade back and forth, but it's Brogy, the first casualty of war. Tech36 is met. Gonna join him. Is he gets the D-Mech, he's going to send out the ult instead. Will remake immediately, but can he do it in safety? Zeke's going to go down. Davin's the one to burn through him. Moogieman takes out Sardis, and now it's danger time for HSL Esports. They need to get a solid lineup on the point. They're staggering out filtering, trying to burn through the time bank. Krogi's gone down. This all happened in such quick success, and it's difficult for them to get in. Sardis going to jump on with the Wrecking Ball. He can't touch. He was kept out and finally gets there after popping the shield, but he's going to burn through quickly. There needs to be a touch there from Zeke. He gets on with the Tracer. Ashcroft jumps in, immediately taken out by Moogieman. He's picked up 3 fire self-destructors there. Team Gigantti, they're going to complete. So we're looking at similar time banks for both of these teams.
Very, very similar. And now the test comes from Gigantti is, are they truly the 1-minute warriors, or is it actually HSL who have that title to reclaim from them, or take away from them, you might say? Literally 14 seconds between the two teams, so no real big difference. But as they do have the lesser time bank, HSL get to go first with their assault.
At this moment in the series, there's more on the line here for HSL on this matchup than it is for Gigantti, because ultimately, if they go for a draw here, Gigantti win the series. It doesn't matter what you do in the 4th map. If you draw, you cannot get enough map wins to match their series score and force out the 5th map tiebreaker, which is their only avenue to success in this series. Gigantti, I mean, they obviously don't want to draw the map. They'd rather have a dominant 4-0 series, but if it does go to a draw, it's still a victory for them. 2 out of 3 instances, HSL Esports loses this. It's not looking good for them.
Well, it paints a very bleak outlook, I suppose. All they can do is try their best.
Glass half empty.
Absolutely. Why not?
May as well at this point.
On defense, for Gigantti, they're going to roll out with something very similar to last time round. Sombra Doomfist being returned to the fore. You have your Ana and Zen because of the long sightlines you get on maps like this. It's a very similar reason to why you see it so much on Hanamura. And the dive tanks, well, they make perfect sense. There is a lot of vertical mobility that you can make use of here on this map. It always helps, as you don't want to sit and play point, as you will just get poked out by the other side.
HSL Esports need to capture this first point. If they don't, then it just guarantees that draw. They got 1 minute, 22 seconds to get on that board with another point. Gigantti waiting for it to go. We're going to jump in. Weak Doomfist. There's the interruption. Seismic Slam, uppercut, no kill coming out. Zeke's barrier doesn't last long enough to delay the damage. First fight easily going over to Team Gigantti.
Perfect timing out of Facility there as well to make it work. Tech, yep, rightly so, throws himself off into the effort of space. Now they get to have one final attempt. 50 seconds on the clock probably does mean that this will be their final one. Depends how quickly it ends. Maybe if it ends in the next 15 seconds, they will get a second chance, but it's not likely, Tridd. And you saw exactly what Facility did there. As soon as he saw them pop the speed boost and run through the tunnels to the left, immediately he was in there trying to get knockups down.
HSL Esports holding their hands to the sky, trying to channel for that Spirit Bomb. Windstrike giving them all the energy they can. A victory here for HSL Esports is a victory for Windstrike. They have 28 seconds to get points on the board. Facility undeterred so far on that Doomfist, going to hide around the corner. Krogi getting closer and closer to that primal race. They get the D-Mech onto Zappis. They're already going to kick things off. Krogi going down low, not close enough for the ult. Zappis going to be the one taken down. Seismic Slam falling a little bit short for Facility. They move around as Moogieman finds another kill. Lilbo following up for HSL Esports. They've lost all momentum in their push, and Team Gigantti are going to stop this point A capture. Guarantee a draw and guarantee them second place in Overwatch Contenders Season 3, for their group at least anyway.
For the group at least, but not only that, the most important thing is it guarantees them an automatic place as well in next season. That's the big one that I think everyone is aspiring towards. You don't want to have to go and fight it out in trials. You want to secure your spot, and they've pretty much just done that. Now the thing they're playing for, if nothing else, is, well, a dominant victory. Show that coming into playoffs you are a team to be feared.
Put the fear of God into your opponents.
Exactly. Or the fear of Gigantti into your opponents,
Put
apparently.
the fear of Gig into your opponents.
The fear of Giga. Sounds like some kind of, I don't know, mystical god. The fear of Giga.
It sounds like some weird, like, Saturday morning cartoon villain.
What, Giga?
Yeah. The fear of Giga!
Giga! Yeah. It sounds terrible, right?
It is. We shouldn't be writers for that.
Welcome to the lair of Giga.
Yeah, Team Gigantti probably feeling a little bit relieved now. They know got that second place in their group. Auto qualification, first season of 2019, under wraps. All about that dominant victory. They can't take first away from Morning Stars.
And let's not forget the most important thing everyone plays for. Fight
Skrilla. Skrilla. That's what they're fighting for.
The fight money. Of course, you get more money for a win. You can say get a lesser amount for a draw and even less for a loss. So, everything counts.
Got to make sure they win that. Because well, actually, it's kind of like spiteful, isn't it? It's also an element of, we're going to get money. I'm also denying you money.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the Hunger Games, mate, but of Overwatch Contenders. It's beautiful.
I don't think teams would want to participate in the Hunger Games.
Woo.
Zeke already finding Davin, so HSL Esports feeling a little bit angry at the way things have worked out, and they're taking their aggression out on Davin, immediately getting sniped the second he walks around the corner.
They made this defense work really well last time, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this map end up in a draw. I'm looking towards Sardis on that Junkrat as well to get that tire online quickly, because that is a big fight changer.
He's just taking blind shots, looking for the tag on
Sombra,
Davin.
where are you? I wouldn't be surprised if that's how he caught him the first time.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was. I want to hear from Zeke if that's actually how he got the kill. Gonna look for him already. Tagged in that time around, but won't get the kill. Gigantti close to getting that point control, but they're having the same problem. They need to clear off the peripherals again. Facility on this Genji, so looking to dive onto the back line. Milkman's already found Ashcroft, and Hadan's going to go down as well to the same person. That Monkey, he's just aping everywhere right now, making his impact known. Lilbo taking out Zeke, probably got in his face. Tech going to go down as well. Clean take the team Gigantti. They're going to go 3-0 in the series so far as we move on to our final map of this group stage.
Impressive stuff. Yet another close map. Hollywood, same story. Coming into this map as well. HSL bringing the fight to Gigantti, which again is very important for players, I think, to demonstrate your capabilities, not just as players, but as a team as well. Because, of course, this is all about highlighting the players who deliver, who show up, who ultimately deserve a space in Overwatch League as well. So, again, really happy that these guys are showing what they can do. Does mean the series is over, but that playoff spot is secured. They'll be happy with that. For Gigantti, like you say, second spot secured, not just playoffs, but also an auto qualification for next season.
Well, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring you that final map of this group. Last game of the group stage, coming right at you. Gigantti already 3-0 in the series. So, here's how your standings are shaping up. You got Morning Stars in that first place, Gigantti taking second. Those are the two auto qualification spots moving into the first season of 2019. Then, you're going to have Winstrike and then HSL in fourth place. Basically, kind of what we thought it was going to go like, shall we say. Maybe the second Gigantti is a little bit of an upset, but who knows what's going to happen here as we conclude this series. Can it be the 4-0? What do you mean the number? Hang on
Gigantti in second is an upset.
Hang on a minute. Remember who you're speaking to here about Gigantti, right?
Yeah, but just because your personal feelings are like that doesn't make it true.
They are... What do you mean? I'm pro Gigantti usually. I
know, that's the point. You're saying them being in second is an upset, right?
I would say it is, yeah.
You think they should be first?
No, not.
That's what you were referring to, and I was like, come on, man.
No, Morningstar's definitely first. They went undefeated, Des.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm saying,
I feel like you're starting to see the light.
I meant the upset of second rather than third place.
You're starting to see the Morning Star for what it is. The beautiful shining lights in the sky as the sun begins to rise.
I look up and I just see those greater than signs that look like the Gigantti logo. They're just scattered everywhere. They're easy to connect. You just need 3 stars. That's how you get it. Well,
Gigant's having a party. They're popping all the pinatas as well on their way through, leaving a mess everywhere. Oh, can't take these guys anywhere. All the time. But on defense, they are rolling out with a pretty standard GOAT setup. HSL on attack are going to match them at least for the first part, and I won't comment on this too much because I've said both. For both teams, they won this time, they won last time.
They won this GOAT. They lost this GOAT.
Exactly. It's so hard to call. That's how tightly matched both teams are, despite the score. Maybe not reflecting how close this has been as a series.
I don't think it's reflecting how close the series has been entirely, but I do think it does represent the consistent victor, obviously, and I do think Gigantti are pulling out ahead here against HSL Esports. Having said, Sardis able to take the fight to Vicinity early on.
Man.
Yeah, but this is the thing, like HSL Esports will win this fight, but ultimately down the line, Gigantti will just win more fights, right? And that's what constantly is leading them to get these victories, map after map. But we've seen it before where a team has like quite a crushing defeat in a 3-0 fashion, and then they just win out the last map because they're just like, you know what, we're going out with a bang.
Absolutely, and at the end of the day, HSL, again, it's the kind of the swan song for them. Yes, they still get to go into playoffs, but this is still a great chance to show before we go into the Christmas break exactly what it is you're made of. Gigantti so far holding out nicely, and Zuppe with a great right click onto Hidan as well, being suppressed somewhat. And Zuppe was a great guy that we watched a lot last week and spoke a lot about his trans use, how fast he was building it, his positioning, really showed why he is an Overwatch League caliber player.
He's that amped up nice and loud in your ears there. Love it when we get close to the loose shows as they pump up the music.
Woo!
Moving around to the side, going to try and move down the stairs rather than go through this choke. It is more advantageous because you have a little bit more space to work with. Not that much, but you have the verticality and you don't have to worry about not being able to go up in the sky, especially if you're like a diva as well and you want to fly high. Krogi moving around, 83%, getting close to that shatter. Zuppe going down with Transcendence. That can be big here if HSL Esports can capitalize. Nice swing over onto Milky Man. He put himself too far forward. Orbit Discord getting cleansed off. Zappis diving into the corner, wants to spray down and knock some people to the side. They're still holding on to that Earth Shatter as they move around the corner. Team Gigantti don't want to lose a fight, so they're conceding territory, knowing they can fight it before they hit that next checkpoint.
They're still waiting for everyone to get back in. The whole crew is back together. The team has been formed. Now's the time for them to come back in and try and fight HSL at this point. Both sides with 4 ultimates. Tridd is going to get explosive.
Which side's going to bop and weave? He's moving around that fountain, not sure what side he's going to commit to. Moving forward, there's the rally being popped. Shadow goes straight down, blocked up by the protected barriers. Dabbing. Again, he just keeps bringing out these barriers time after time. The greatest hits are on display here. Self-destruct coming out from Tech V6, won't find anyone. Davin takes out Krogi after that, and Milky Man's going to follow up with a Shatter of his own. Zuppe taking out Zeke. 1 minute 35 on the clock, and HSL Esports have been stopped just short of their first checkpoint.
And there we go. Managed to get that pushback you were speaking about. They kind of dig themselves into a hole and say, right, we refuse to move from this point, and HSL are now the ones who have got to bring the party to Team Gigantti. Both sides still with 3 ultimates on mind. They're almost mirroring each other in terms of what they're using in these fights, at least in terms of the number of ultimates, but they are a very different set online. HSL, as the aggressors, are kind of stuck right now with all 3 support ultimates. They can use them aggressively, pop the rally and run in, and then you have the trans and the barrier for afterwards. On the other side, you're only looking towards the sound barrier coming out a little bit.
He plants that grab very early into the fight, and Transcendence is going to come out obviously from a damn Krogi still being caught out by that one. Zappis with the self-destruct, sealing the fate of HSL Esports, a 10th on this fight, and they're smart enough to know at this point they should back off, regroup, not give away much time, because speaking of which, 45 seconds remaining, not a lot to play with.
Yeah, Gigantti have really slowed them down there. At the start, it kind of went all HSL's way, but after that, especially on towards that first point itself, everything's been going the way of Team Gigantti. Combo after combo rolling through, even just catching out one member. Usually Progi, with one of their ultimates, is enough to reset the fight and forge HSL back. 30 seconds remaining. This is the final fight now, Tridd. They have to get this one right, and Team Gigantti, they've got about 4 ultimates online. It's definitely going to be a hard push.
Before this season, I would have said being stopped at this point basically means you've lost Dorado, but we've seen it so many times where teams have been able to do a full hold defense at this point when they've had their payload stopped at this very point themselves. So HSL Esports, I wouldn't put it past them if they failed to capture checkpoint A to still win this map. They need to get through Gigantti first, and a shatter from Milky Man, followed up into a grab to counter the flow. Vicinity's isolated on that side of the pillar. Ashcroft is there to take him out. Sound barrier being employed as well for HSL. TechGirl himself, that self-destructive halo as Progi's going to have an earth shatter of his own. They're probably going to wait for this Transcendence to finish up. That's one more target they can kill when they get the combo. Gonna put it down. Beautiful combo. Finds Milky Man off the back of him, guessing a shield bash. Tech36 comes in with the self-destructive fire. Milky Man. Sardis is punished for his aggressive positioning. They're still having to walk this one in slowly. Overtime is in effect, but they need to contest. Self-destruct coming out from Zappis over the top. Won't find a kill. Progi moves forward. He's got the Transcendence to keep it alive.
Hidan had that Transcendence back online again. That's his second of this whole fight, which is really impressive. But they've got the kills coming on their side. There's only a few members left. Milky Man returns to the fray. Have they got the back here? There's a great grab surge coming out.
Look at Hidan throwing the hands. Tech36 taking out free as well for Progi to follow up. HSL Esports not being stopped in the market.
No, but they did find their whole time bank depleted down to 2.5 minutes to push on towards this second point. And you get a further 1 minute and 30 seconds once you hit that second point and start pushing in towards the third. So for Gigantti, bit of a scrappy final fight. And HSL, like I say, Hidan, props to him for 2 Transcendences in one fight as well, doing a lot of work for the guys there. Now at least they get a chance to push in towards that third point. It's a second, tends not to be one of the more harder points to defend. Or attack, sorry.
Got 2 minutes in their time bank as they're moving around that first corner to get in front of that church. Probably got another shadow ready to go, looking for the combo. Not going to find anyone this time, Frogmeister. As it's going to be Team Gigantti moving around that corner now on the counter-attack, knowing they have a little bit of an advantage to abuse. As Milky Man's got that shadow, going to put it through the payload, doesn't find, actually no, finds 2. This looks like Progi was a little bit too far to the right to protect the entirety of his team from that shatter, but they're unable to capitalize on it, so they're stuck around the corner here, trading sound barrier for Transcendence. Lilbo's about to get his online to complete that trade when he gets flipped around by HSL Esports. Self-destruct goes up, goes down, and Progi still being caught out because the charge is there. Progi always focused when they go for that Gigabat.
I swear, the 3 or 4 we've seen, Zappis has always caught Progi out with them as well. Okay, part of it comes down to what Facility is doing with the bashes, but Progi is always caught in an aggressive spot, so Zappis is finding the perfect time to deploy these self-destructs enough that they can shut down that front line of HSL and force them way back. They've almost got the spawn camps here, and they've only got 50 seconds left in their time bank.
A lot to play with, but still a lot of the duration. They can win a fight here in Gigantti, because it's that close to their spawn room, can get back out and contest it again before they hit that next checkpoint and get some more time for themselves. Well, Gigantti's playing so aggressive, they know that they have that fallback. If they lose, they're pressing forward. There's Milky Man holding the line against Progi. It's high charge Davin moving forward. Going to commit that shatter from Milky Man. Not going to find anything from Team Gigantti. There's the grab. He's going to lock up. Mr. Davin just be burned down by Zeke. There's the sound barrier coming in a little bit too late. Sardis finds another kill. 20 seconds remaining, and they're going to walk this one in overtime. So even if they get to the third section, they're still only going to have 1 minute 30 remaining, and they've got to get through Gigantti one more time after this.
They have, and it's going to be tough for sure. Maybe even twice if Gigantti manage to get themselves back into this one quickly enough. They've managed to stall out for long enough, that's
They've got
sure.
Zappis pinned in the corner. The storm's going to be there. The stagger, they move him back, keep him away from the shield. They could really burn and milk this for everything they want. But guess what Zappis is going to do? He's like, cool, I'm not going to get through here. I'm going to go and jump off the edge because there's an environmental opportunity just over there.
But it's definitely a long way to go. Look, he's only just got there. In fact, he's back with his team now, so
okay, so he's not going to
there
reset. But they're going to actually use this opportunity. HSL Esports probably spotted him meandering around in the corner behind the pillar and go, well, they haven't got Tech36 at the moment, let's go forward. Sorry, they haven't got Zappis at the moment, let's move forward. He has got the mech and the self-destructors online. Maybe Progi gets caught out again. They're going to trade those support ultimates. There's grabs on Surge. And there's the back line. Charges him out, won't get the kill. The protection is there to keep him up this time, but Progi's pinned in the corner. Milky Man being booped away, but Zappy's still going to get the kill. That's going to be the shadow coming out from Milky. He finds Sardis on the floor. No one's on the point. Gigantti end them just shy of checkpoint B.
That shadow was enough to keep the supports away to the stage that they couldn't get back on the point. You even saw Tech36 knocked down on the high ground itself.
It's probably the weird interaction that he triggered boosters, but he was still on the, he's still like on a Y-axis that gets affected by Earth Shatter, so he actually flew up on his back, right?
It's either that, or it was more that you got stunned out by a Brigitte or anything like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know. How far high would you travel if you've already got the upward trajectory? But you're in shatter range?
I guess it depends, right? Like, if your boosters are inact, maybe it just carries on. I don't know. But either way, he got knocked down. No one could touch the point. And, well, now Gigantti, they get their attempt at an attack. And they don't have super far to go.
I really want Gigantti to do this. It's like they pulled together the information. They've played against Windstrike. Like, can we make it work? Can we run the Mei?
Well, Zappis is the guy who would play it because you swap out the Diva for the Mei in most of these compositions. But I think we saw Windstrike did it where they had Unfixed playing on it once, I think, as well, which was interesting.
They actually had Chow playing it.
That was Chow, sorry. You're not right.
It was Chow and Kenzie who shared the responsibilities on Windstrike.
And when we asked them who was the better one, Chow was like, yeah, Kenzie.
Kenzie,
obviously. He knew who the better one was.
He's not going to contest it. HSL Esports, they're running a fairly standard defense. They know the benchmark they have to defend to if they want to get one win in this series. Doesn't change the outcome of the standings, unfortunately, but fight money, pride. Let's get themselves riding a high and they carry that momentum forward to their playoffs because they're getting that 4th seed, but they're still in playoffs.
Let's not forget as well, Zappis has been huge this whole map so far, or at least the whole series, I think, in terms of the number of self-destructs that have caught Proggy or other members of HSL off guard. And now swapping him out. No, that was so sad. Dude, you can't do that to me with 3 seconds left. He's back onto the Diva.
Okay, he's playing it safe. That's absolutely fine. He wants to get this dominant 4-0 victory and not take the chance of playing the Mei when he can rely on what's consistently been a strong hero for him, the Diva.
Big self-destructs. Don't blame him. He's had a lot in this series, like I said earlier on. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get any more big ones here to really close this series out in a stylish 4-0.
Moving forward. Darren getting about half HP, but he's behind the shield. He's got to cover his team to keep himself up. Look at where TechGirl is. He's on the high ground, just peppering everyone with those missiles, with the bullets. Darren going down low. Health bar looking like an equalizer at times. Lost that shield, needs to heal. And Milky Man still taking out Proggy to have the man advantage. First fight being won. They move around and want to get this going, but a few backs there from Ashkoff to delay, or Ashkoff, sorry, to delay what's going on. Zappis will have to go for a reset after he got D-Max, but this is looking like it's Gigantti's fight to win. 3 minutes on the clock, and they're moving around towards that archway.
And 5 ultimates online from 1 fight. Literally, in the first minute of play, we've seen, what, 6, 7 ultimates come online? It's crazy.
It kind of begs the question again. We were talking about, is it advantageous to draw on that second map, or on that third map, sorry, for the 4th map? Is it advantageous to take a longer but winnable fight in your first clash so that you can have such a decisive victory later on and get a quick checkpoint? Basically reduce the number of fights from 3 to 2.
Maybe, but you also give quite a lot over to the other side as well. It depends how far you manage to move that payload as well, I guess, right? But they've got ultimates online. Now they've just got to make it work and turn it into a victory.
Well, Milky Man unable to touch the ground, so he doesn't want to shatter at this point. Being bullied a little bit. Grabs on Surge there. He has to move towards the front of that pack to try and protect his team from that self-destruct. TechGirl going to take out Milky Man. Finally, some revenge for HSL Esports when it comes to that combination. So, going to kill off Gigantti's push. 2 minutes 10 on the clock, and they're staggering whatever they can.
Yep, Sardis doing the work there again. Shield bashed down to Milky Man whilst his shield was raised. Just manages to do enough to stop him in his tracks and, well, get himself blown up by that self-destruct. So HSL, like you said, now the ones in stall territory. It's kind of funny how many of these maps have been echoed in terms of the way they actually pan out, because this is a very similar story to what we saw on the last time round when it was HSL on the attack. It was Gigantti who managed to hold them inside the market and push back right up towards the point of overtime to then win.
There you go, Shatter. We'll only find one. Wants out the rest of it there, put into the shield of Proggy on the defense. So maybe it was a bit too reactionary from Team Gigantti to get anything done there. 1 minute 30. They still got some time to play with. Milky Man moves forward. There's grabs on Surge, self-destruct over the top. Will they find Proggy again? He's got the protective barrier this time, but it runs out as the collision happens. So he gets a big chunk of health. Forces out the armor pack usage from Facility. From Sardis very early on, which might be a problem later on the fight if they can get some bursting on some other members of HSL Esports. Davy needs to build towards that ultimate available. Zappe also has the Transcendent Zeke. Now has the Graviton Surge. He can get that out and make that interaction happen right now. Pulls them together. There we go. Tech 3-6 finding Lilbo. So they got that one-man advantage they need to keep the fight going. Zeke not lost his shield. Going to maintain that armor for now as he presses forward. 60 seconds remaining and no decisive winner in this fight.
I love how they're almost forming a choke by trying to force Gigantti between the payload and the fountain. Yep. Gigantti are trying so hard to force through it to actually get a fight going, but HSL are just standing to either side of it and trying to push anyone back who tries to come any further forward. It's almost like an artificial choke using the payload.
40 seconds remaining. HSL Esports, they've got 3 ults in the bag. Only Gigantti have 1 at the moment. Davin's about to get that Graviton Surge together to make the magic happen. Probably one fight if this is not a fast one for Team Gigantti. Roll that grab in, gonna kick things off. Milky Man moving forward, Transcendence is there. There's the charge. Isolates Proggy from the fight. Self-destruct over the top. Tech36 is going to find Lilbo. Zeke taking out Facility. Milky Man obviously gets the kill onto Progi because he's so far away from the Transcendence, but that's only 1 kill when you've lost 2 yourself. 10 seconds remaining. Buy some time for reinforcements because you might lose it right here.
Absolutely will. They need those reinforcements to come in right now. They have that slight advantage of the Earthshadow comes out, but it's not going to be enough to just give us a clear decider in this fight.
Zeke needs to stay alive. He's 2% away from a Graviton Surge, and Hidan is not able to match that Transcendence that's being used from the side of Team Gigantti, but it doesn't matter. HSL Esports are going to shut it all down. That's Team Gigantti unable to get the 4-0. HSL Esports, if they're going to end up in 4th place, they're going to do it swinging.
What a way to do it again. Just taking a map, at least for these guys, is a big confidence booster going into playoffs. But ultimately, it's Team Gigantti who come out with the victory. 3-1 scoreline and guarantee themselves 2nd place in this group, as we said at the halftime.
So, result for Gigantti, ultimately. You get the win, and you get yourself guaranteed auto qualification. That's going to make the Finns very happy when we come around to 2019. Advantageous seeding as well. You end up going up against the 3rd place team from your opposing group. It's going to be good for Gigantti. Feeling good about this time around.
Let's not get too excited yet. Well, let's see what the matchups are in the end.
I'm fingers crossed for Gigantti at this point. Your fingers crossed for Morning Stars, right?
Fingers crossed for everyone.
The only way we both win here is they end up in a final against each other, which is possible with the way the bracket works.
But Angry Titans, got to say, I'm looking to those guys getting there maybe. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But we're going to go over to a quick break, and then we'll bring you the analyst desk to close out the night.